multiple awards, co-founders impact. I don't know if maybe the only award we have there. Tony Procopio is a leader amongst leaders, an incredible individual who serves. If you're a part of this organization, whether you're a part of his team or not, he's always looking to help add value to people. And I love that. He inspires me all the time, building a tremendous business with his wonderful wife here. So give him a round of applause, and you're going to hear some great stuff. Thank you.
You guys excited or what?
Yes.
This is great. I love this. So I'm not familiar with this one. I think this is the pointer. Yeah, that's the pointer. There we go. There we go. This is a nice little clicker here. So hey, you guys, have you ever shown a plan and gotten somebody that gave you some kind of a question or some kind of an objection, or maybe they didn't want to get started? You ever have that happen?
Yes.
Okay, all right. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So. You know, I love that picture is up there because, you know, it's all about your why, okay? Whenever I'm out showing a plan or handling objections, I always think back to the reason why I started the business. And one of the reasons Diana and I started this business was to go out to actually get a motor home and be able to travel around it and be able to do the things that we want to do. And that's one of the things that we did with this business. So let's talk about some objections that are out there. Now, every objection that you're going to come across, it's going to fall into one of two categories. Always. There's really not an objection you can get that doesn't fall into one of these two categories. Either the person has a limiting belief in network marketing. Okay, there's some reason they don't like network marketing, they don't believe it works, whatever it is, or they have a limiting belief in themselves. So what are some objections that you guys, let me hear some objections that you hear when you're out there. Who's got some? Pyramid, okay. Limiting belief in network marketing. What else?
Time.
Too busy. Time, okay. Limiting belief in themselves, or because they don't have enough time, or it could be a limiting belief in network marketing because they think it takes too much time. What else? I'm shy. Limiting belief in themselves.
I don't know anyone.
I don't know anyone. That's a limited belief in themselves because their sphere of influence, they feel it's not big enough.
Not worth doing.
Not worth doing. That's a limiting belief either in themselves because they don't trust their own ability, or a limiting belief in network marketing. They don't believe they can make enough money in this. They don't have what?
They don't have the funds to even join.
They don't have the funds to even join. Okay, it's a limiting belief in themselves. They don't believe they have enough. They think they don't have enough money.
My spouse would just kill me.
My spouse would kill me. That's a big one. Limiting belief in yourself. Okay, that's what that is right there. And it's also probably because it's a limiting belief in network marketing, because why is the spouse going to kill them? Because it's network marketing, you know? Sometimes that's how it is. Okay, so they're all going to fall into those categories, okay? So let's talk about this. I'm going to make a note, first of all, regarding this. That laziness, ignorance, and timing. The laziness objection, the ignorance, and the timing objection, okay? Whenever someone comes up with one of those three objections, which fall into those two categories I just talked about, that's what you're going to do with them. You're going to make them a customer. You're not going to waste any of your time. If it's laziness, timing, or ignorance, you can't do anything about that. Okay? Move on to the next person, make them a customer, and then allow them to go through the process of what happens when they become a customer. Because we under-promise and over-deliver, and then you circle back to them after that. Drip on them and get going. Okay, so let's talk about one of the most common ways to handle objections that are out there. Now here's the thing. We have a system in place, and you're going to use the three-way call exactly like you always do. Okay, but there are some things that you can do up front to make that three-way call work even more effectively. And there are some things you can do after the three-way call to make that three-way call work more effectively. So how many people have ever heard of the feel, felt, found? Okay, I'm going to describe this, and most people have. It's basically like this. Somebody says, I don't have enough time to do this. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same exact way because I didn't have a lot of time. But what I found is that working part-time side-by-side with my regular profession, it didn't interfere with anything that I was doing. It didn't take as much time as I thought, and I was able to fit it into my schedule. That's feel, felt, found. You can do that with any objection that you come up with. And it's a common thing that's out there that's great. It's fantastic. It works. So use that. There's another one. There's another way to uncover the real objection. See, when you say feel, felt, found with someone, sometimes you're only talking about the one thing that they said. and they're not actually getting to the real objection. Okay, so there's a method that you can go through even before you get someone on a three-way call by asking questions. Okay, not by answering questions, by asking questions to get more information to make that three-way call that much more effective. So uncovering the real objection, because a lot of times what happens is somebody will say, I don't have enough money to do this. And we don't get that heck of a lot. But usually, there's something else that's stopping them from getting in. And if you don't get to that objection, then you're never going to be able to handle it and they won't join your team. So how do you uncover the real objection? I think of it like this, like you're in a tennis match and you're in this very low-key, soft tennis match where you're basically holding an iced tea in your hand and you're hitting a tennis ball and volleying back and forth with your friend. It's not a competitive match, okay? And when somebody gives you an objection, they hit the ball over to your side of the court, now the ball's in your corner. So basically, the key line here is to say, well, in addition to that. So if somebody says, listen, I don't think I can do this, or it's not for me. Well, let me ask you something, Jim. In addition to that, is there anything else that would stop you or prevent you from getting started today? It's a simple way. It's not something where you're confrontational. It's just asking simple questions. I don't have enough time. In addition to that, is there anything else that would stop you from getting moving forward today, from getting started today? You can do this over and over again. So somebody says, I don't have enough time. Great, you ask them that. Then they say, well, in addition to that, let's see, well, I don't think my wife would let me do this. Okay, Jim, well, in addition to that, I'm not sure if we can handle that or not, but in addition to that, is there anything else that would stop you from getting started today? Well, I just don't think that I could really do it. See, now, by asking the question and slowing down the process with people, you're getting to the real objection, which now is the fear, in that case, in this exact case. Okay, so these are some key lines that you can use when you're talking to people. So money objection. Look, we don't get a heck of a lot of that now because it used to be $429. That's what it was when we got started. Now it's $100. I mean, how many people in here think that if somebody had a money objection, but then the next day somebody wanted to join their team as a consultant and build a huge business underneath them, how many people think they would have a money objection the next day? See, nobody, because now they know that it works. So if money, I love Steve Thompson. He does this on Amherst University, and he did this when it was $429, and it still stands today. If money is the only thing getting in your way, we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem at all. And let's get started today, and we can find the money along the way. That's it. It doesn't cost anything to show the plan to anyone. You can get somebody started. It doesn't matter when they sign up. Are you guys more interested in when they sign up as a consultant? Or are you more interested in when they're going to put the next prospect that could become an executive or national consultant in front of you? You want the second one, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter when they join. All right, so you can hit it head on too if somebody has a money objection or a time objection. I learned this from M.J. Durkin. Somebody says, I don't have enough time. M.J. Durkin said this. He said, yes, you do, and let me tell you why. That's a direct way to handle an objection up front. Okay? It's great, you can do that. There are certain people that you may not want to do that with, but it's basically by stitching little pieces of time together. Let's talk about agreeing with people and then turning it around. All right, so let's talk about how that works. So here's the time objection turnaround. Now, first of all, when someone gives you any objection, after you're done showing the plan, our system teaches that after you're done and the presentation is over, I like to say to people, can you see why I'm so excited about this? Can you see why I'm so excited about this? They always say, yes, I can. Whether they like it or not, they can see why I'm so excited, so it's a great question to ask. It always comes back as a positive. Yes, I can see why you are so excited, even if it's just that. And then we ask them, so are you ready to get started? That's what our system teaches us. So when someone says yes, you know what to do, right? When they say no, you know what to do. Make them a customer. But when they say maybe or they have a question or an objection, I'm going to give you one word that's going to help everyone in this room when someone says they have some type of objection. Are you ready to get started? And they say no or maybe. Doesn't matter what they say. Here's the one word that you can say to them when they say, I'm not ready to get started. Really? just like that. Really? Okay, this is a way to slow down the process for you, to continue the dialogue, so that you can get them onto the three-way call. Everybody in here, you guys should be shocked when someone doesn't want to join what you just showed them. I mean, in my opinion, they have to be an idiot not to join. So it's very easy, if your opinion is they'd have to be an idiot not to join, even before you get that objection or that no, it's very easy that if that's what you're thinking in the back of your mind, it's very easy to say, really? So write that down if you're taking notes. Really is one of the best words, questions that you can ask at the end of showing someone the plan. So let's say that this is the ultimate objection, the time objection. All these objections that we have are great. The two that really come up the most are the time objection and the fear of failure. Those are the two. So if you can handle the two, I would say 75% of the people who don't get started in this business, probably more, if you ask some other people who've been building this business, 75% of the people who don't get started, it's over a time objection or they don't feel that they can do it. It's probably more than that. Did I say that more than that, Jay? Right? Probably more than that. Okay, so here's how to turn a time objection around with people. Okay, now this could be before the three-way call, could be after the three-way call. But at some point, you're going to have to agree with people and somehow show them, because people want to join a train that's moving on. They want to join something that's moving forward. So when somebody says, I don't have enough time, I always say the same thing to them. I agree with them. I say, most of the time I started off like this. I go, I know you didn't have a lot of time. I wasn't looking for your time. In fact, I knew you were so busy before I even got here that I knew you wouldn't have time to do this. If I were looking for your time, I wouldn't have come and met with you, because I know you don't have any. So I agree with them. But then I say to them, well, I know you have at least 15 minutes, either over the phone or face-to-face, because you're meeting with me today. I know you have at least 15 minutes a week because you met with me today, this week. They always agree with that. So if we took 15 minutes next week and did the same thing, we just met up and we networked a little bit, and we did that for a couple, and we found someone in that 15 minutes that you connected me with that had 2 hours per week. Okay? Think about this, you guys. Would you meet with someone every week for 15 minutes, and all you did was figure out who they knew so that they could connect you with that person so you could show that person the plan? How many people would do that every single week with someone? Multiple people. How many people would do it with 10 people a week? No. Absolutely, because you're going to go on any appointment that comes up in your calendar. You're building the business. So let's say, I know you have at least 15 minutes a week because you're sitting here with me. So let's say we took 15 minutes next week and we did that for a couple months, and we found somebody each week that had 2 hours a week. Do you realize that if we did 15 minutes a week for 2 months, you would take your 15 minutes and we'd multiply your time into 15 hours. 15 minutes into 15 hours. And now you're getting paid even while you're sleeping, or while you're working, or while you're sick from work because you don't like doing it, or whether you're on vacation. Every time, over and over and over again. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the perfect business for people who don't have a lot of time. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
This is a question. This is just a question. You're not answering the time objection. You're asking the question, wouldn't you agree? And now you go right into the three-way call. This could be done either before or after the three-way call. You're asking questions over and over and over again. I've never had anybody not agree, ever. I've never had anybody not agree. Now, they may still have a fear objection, and we're going to talk about that, because the fear of failure objection is a big one. People don't think they can do it. They don't think their friends will do it with them. They don't think they have the ability. A lot of people are like that. When I joined this business, I didn't know if it would work. I mean, my wife and I thought we could make $200 a month in this business. That's what we thought we were in for. And the first month, I think we made $1,400, so that was out the window. Okay? So encouragement is the way to overcome the fear objection, or the objection that they don't think that they can do it. And it's an I think attitude. And you guys, if you get good at being an I think attitude type of person, see, we don't care what the people think about the business model after. That's why we don't show the plan and ask them what do you think. Because you're going to get all kinds of stuff like that. But when you are the one telling them what you think, in this situation, this is very powerful. So encourage people, okay? You may not be 100% confident that this will work for you, but we can do this together, and let me tell you why. And now talk about the tools, talk about the system, talk about teamwork. See, this is for everybody who does three-way calls as well. You can ask these questions when you're on a three-way call with someone, when you're the three-way call expert, okay? So the I think attitude is this, it's encouraging people. The people who make the most money in network marketing are the biggest encouragers in the world. They are. So when someone says, I don't think that they don't think they can do it, I always love to tell them this. I said, well, listen, I think you'd be great at it. I think you'd be an incredible person. I think that you have a very powerful story as to why you want to do something. I think you have some pain in your life that will really resonate with other people. I think you and your wife would be a great couple in this business. I think that you'd be dynamic. I think that people would really respect you and like you. What do you think? See, when you become an I think attitude type of person, what are they going to say when I say, I think you and your wife would be great at this? And I look over to the husband and say, what do you think? What's he going to say? My wife wouldn't be great at this? You have to be in it, right? So you guys, that's what this is all about. Become an encourager. Overcome the objections. Slow the process down. Get to the real objection. Then get them on the three-way call. I love to get on a three-way call. And at the beginning of the three-way call, I love to tell Jay Emma, this is my friend Jim. We were talking, I showed him the plan. He told me about this, and I tell Jay the 3 objections that he had. Right. So Jay can handle it before we even get started. He knows exactly what to do because I did my job. So look, if you learn the responses in this business, you'll tame the lion, and that's what this thing is all about. You guys, I'm excited about this. I can't wait for the rest of the training. I've taken pages of notes already. So we will see you guys at the top. Thank you.